Welcome to On Target Radio, Segment 6, where just because the show ends doesn't mean the conversation stops. Now here's your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to segment 6, and tonight we're going to talk about being safe when you're out of your house. Kind of triggered by some of these theater shootings that have gone on, like in your hometown in Lafayette, Louisiana. When we go places, we're always like really cautious about that, not sitting with our back to the door and stuff. So
Right.
I thought it might be interesting to just share some thoughts about that. You make holsters for women, essentially.
Yeah, I design shapewear with pockets accessible for cross straw for subcompact carry. And I have a line just for women right now, but I'm hoping to expand with a few more items, including clothing items for women. I'm working with a designer right now on a few pieces.
Cool.
So yeah, to expand the line.
It would be I think safe to say, pretty much carry everywhere we go.
I try to carry as much as I can, yeah.
That's safe.
I have 3 jobs, and 2 of them I'm not allowed to carry at my job.
Government employee.
Right, one of them is financial industry, which I think it's not universal within the financial industry, but it's fairly prevalent that they don't allow guns. And then the other one is in a government building. And so, but I was made very uncomfortable a couple of months ago. I was driving home from my government job, and I didn't have my gun with me. And there was a man in the lane next to me who was like giving me the stink eye, and not just like, and then look away, but like he was like staring at me stink eye. Like for several minutes, and it was making me very uncomfortable, and I didn't have my gun in the glove compartment, and I was really regretting that. And so I've started carrying in the car more, even when I go to work where I can't carry. So yeah, I've been carrying more and more actually.
Do you carry I believe you carry at church as well,
I
correct?
do carry in church.
Because
Yeah.
some of them don't allow it, but some of them do. So
Yeah.
yours definitely.
Our church has no policy on it, so. And as far as I know, I'm the only one who does, so I'm the protector of my entire congregation.
The shepherd of the flock.
That's cute.
I think
I'm the sniper of the flock.
I think the places that you would think I can't carry are the very places you probably should
You
carry.
need to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's one place that I'm very uncomfortable is when I go to the shopping mall. All the shopping malls by us are marked no guns. And so, and they're gonna, too many mall shootings to count. I mean, I don't even know how many mall shootings there've been. And then if you add in, the Lane Bryant killings and all of that, it's just been, there's so many. And so, and then there was a grocery store shooting in Indiana. So I don't go grocery shopping without a gun. And I don't go to the mall without a gun.
I've noticed that a lot of the grocery stores that immediately put up the no conceal carry signs as soon as the law was passed, have started taking those down.
Oh,
I heard
So
that.
I don't see nearly as many as what
Yeah.
we used to.
Yeah.
And Jewel, I talked to the general counsel of Jewel when they first put the sign up.
It was kind of confusing.
Well, and you're right, because when I saw it, here's how it happened. I went into Jewel, where I've been going for years, and there's a sign, and I'm like, son of a gun. So I wrote a letter to Jewel, and I was polite, but I said, look, I'm ex-military, I did 20 years in law enforcement, I've been shopping here all these years, and now what? Suddenly I can't bring a gun in when it's legal in the state of Illinois. The general counsel of Jewel called me back, and he said, you didn't look at the sign closely enough.
Mm-hmm.
He said, these are his words, we have no objection to law-abiding citizens carrying concealed firearm in any Jewel store, anywhere where it's legal.
Right.
He said, if you look at the fine print, which there is,
Mhm.
it says about employees and vendors. Now, here's what he said. He said, look, we're not anti-gun, but if we say our employees can carry a firearm while working for us in the store, and something goes wrong, we're on the hook.
Yeah.
So
They're
that
liable.
means we have to make sure they've been trained, we have to make sure the gun is safe, all these things that we have to worry about if we're gonna let them do it. He goes, we're in the business to sell groceries. We're not in the business to do that. And he said, so it just applies to them. So I called the state police and ran that by him. And the person I talked to down at state police goes, there's a caveat. But Ed Ronkowski has said, our attorney, he goes, sign's a sign. Doesn't matter what the words are. So what does that always say? There's no case law.
Hasn't been tested.
Yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing about that too is actually, I would say that sign is not enforceable because it's not the.
It's not the sign.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not the sign. So, so yeah, I would say it's not, you know, I mean, it's their company policy, but it's not really
Right.
enforceable.
But just
A lot of them aren't even in spots where you can see them. Like I went to the
Yeah.
Lincolnwood Mall there, and it was in the foyer and like way up
Yeah.
in the second story.
The
by
windows above the
window.
door.
Yeah, the like way up high, and I was like, I just so happened to be looking up, and I'm like, oh, they've got no concealed carry. It wasn't
Yeah.
anywhere on the doors.
Well,
or
and we've had people say, like I went into a bar, not me, but if someone told me, I went into a bar and it wasn't marked outside, they had a sign behind the bar, like on the mirror.
well,
Okay.
that's interesting.
And that's not correct either, because the law says it has to be conspicuously displayed at the entrance.
Right?
So that is, you know,
Now,
I would
is
say
it
yours,
automatic though?
I would say yours is not conspicuous, and then that other one is
Right,
not displayed at the
right.
entrance. So neither one of those is doing
51%.
it correctly.
If it's 51% sales alcohol.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more
Then
than
it's
50% in the prior 3 months.
But are they still required to post it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that Pub West
Yeah,
had
that's what I was thinking of
in,
just now.
in
He's very
Waterford.
pro-gun, obviously.
He's
Yeah.
totally pro-gun. The guy who owns Pub West is very pro-gun, loves the
You
club.
can't afford to be.
But it was like $10,000 a day fine, I think, isn't
This
it?
is up to 5,000.
It's $5,000 a day fine
Yeah.
for every day you don't put that sign on your door. And finally, after, it took him a while, but finally just goes,
And it's only on the main entrance. not
Yeah.
the back entrance.
yeah,
But, and there's no law against, and we've said this, he should put a sign next to that sign and say, I don't really want to post this, but the
Right.
state of Illinois is forcing
Yeah.
me
'Cause
to.
I've been there with several
And,
people.
and
that question-
I'm not against the Second Amendment, I'm pro Second Amendment, and, you know, you're welcome here, and, you know, not to say anything about your guns are welcome here, but, you know, just to
Right.
say,
yeah.
I am pro Second Amendment, but the state is
Yeah,
forcing me to
of
put this up.
I've had people say that when I went there, they say, hey, why does he have that sign up? And I'm like, well, because the alcohol.
He has no
And
choice.
they're like, oh.
And now he has
And the
gambling
video
too.
gambling.
Now he
Yeah,
has
he's
gambling,
got
too.
video
Oh, it's true, he
gambling,
does,
too.
yes.
That's an automatic.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about malls is, like our mall, Louis Joliet, or whatever they call it this decade,
Yeah, no, it's still.
if you go to the anchor stores, there's no
They're
sign.
not marked, yeah.
So if you
You
walk
mean the
in,
ones that are around?
Yeah, the
outside
four corners.
No,
perimeter?
the department stores, the big department stores.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Marked.
okay.
Yeah.
if you go in their entrance, not the mall entrance, there's no sign.
Like a Sears or a Macy's
Right.
or something.
And you can go all the way through the store, when you get to the mall, there's no sign on the door there either.
Oh.
So, it's an interesting situation. You can, if you get busted, you can go, I came in through Penny's, or I came in,
through
I never saw a
Carson's.
sign.
Well, and that's usually what I do, and for the longest time, I didn't even know it was marked, because usually I go in Carson's, I shop in Carson's, and I leave.
Right.
And so I never saw,
And there's no sign
I
on
never
those
saw
doors.
a sign.
Yeah.
The funny thing too is that if you go in by, there's a Fridays attached to that mall. And Fridays has a non-uniform sign. So they have an unenforceable sign on the Fridays entrance. And then the mall entrance that's directly adjacent has two different signs. They have the real one, and then they have a clear version of the real one, which probably is enforceable. But yeah, just in that little area, there's 3 different no guns.
You know, talking about restaurants, one of the things I always try to do is get as far away from the door as you can get. And
Mark does that too.
never turn my back to the door.
And he has to be sitting.
Yeah,
facing
never
the
turn my
door.
back to the
Yeah.
door.
He's gotta have
Yeah.
his eye on the exit.
And then you just sort of keep an eagle eye. I mean,
Yeah.
you're really
I
good.
remember one time we were at a place that had a back door and front door.
Yeah,
And he's like, okay, I want to sit here, so I'm facing the door. And I'm like, there's a door behind you. And he goes, okay, well then you have to watch that door.
this is like Mr. and Mrs.
It
Smith.
really was.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really was. Like, we're going to be shooting over each other's shoulder.
yeah. But it's a, you know, here's the thing. Concealed carry. Historically, concealed carry has been, you don't want some jerk, you're in a liquor store buying something and some clown comes in with a shotgun. I mean, that's been the concern of concealed carry all along.
Right.
One-on-one, somebody threatens you or whatever. Now, they shoot cops in the back of the head
Yeah.
in gas stations.
Yeah.
You got ISIS roaming around with AK-47s. I don't carry a concealed carry gun anymore. I carry a full-size gun.
Right.
Right.
All the time.
I wish I could, I just can't.
Well,
Well-
it's bigger than you are.
Yeah, exactly.
On a
Maybe
different
it'll-
topic, like for you and I had been posting for the past, however many days since the incident happened, but my friend Mary,
In Lafayette.
no,
No.
sorry, my friend here.
Melissa.
my-
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
the sister.
right.
Right.
We talked
Meaning-
about that last week in segment 6.
Yeah, and it's just, that's something that I personally am gonna start doing more often, is carrying it home. I mean, I've always had a plan, if this happens, or if
Sure.
someone comes
Yeah.
by this window or this door, and you run through it with your kids. It's the same thing as having a fire safety plan, You know where things are in your home, you know how to get to them,
Sure.
you know how to utilize them, how to access them, but, I'm considering carrying more, in the house, so, and that really scared the hell out of me, seeing that happen.
It's tough times. And, not to make it political, but it really is. This president has gone out of his way to divide this country.
Yeah.
And now you've got, you got people killing cops, people killing white people. I mean, you can lay that right at Obama's feet. I mean, he's basically the guy who's generated this stuff. And so now you don't know who.
Right.
You just don't know where to turn. You don't know
Right.
what's gonna be around the next corner.
And then we have the mentally ill, like you were saying in Lafayette. This guy definitely had some mental issues there. And down in Lafayette, Louisiana, with the theater shooting, that also, really freaked me out, because my mother was at that exact theater the movie before with my little cousin and another child, a friend's child that she was babysitting, and watching Ant-Man in the theater next door to there were literally just a wall
Yeah.
separating them from where they were showing Trainwreck that day. So, that's a really close call. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And, I just saw, someone shared with me today, UL Lafayette, the university there,
Yeah.
I'm alumni, and they did a great salute to them. They came out with the opposing team, and both bands came out and did
Oh,
Amazing
nice.
Grace with their
Oh, yeah.
marching band.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and did a little prayer for him, so that was really sweet, but,
That's nice.
Said a prayer.
yes. We're talking about Lafayette, Louisiana.
That's radical
Yes,
stuff. That's
yes, it
radical
is.
stuff.
Yeah.
It does though, when you're talking about carrying in the house, it does make me reconsider some of my habits, because a lot of times I come home from shopping or whatever I'm doing, and I'm carrying when I first get home. But, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world.
No.
And so then I go and I take it off. I either put it back in my bedroom, or, I leave it laying all over the house, different places. So at any given moment, if I
You also
get,
don't have kids
if,
in the
no,
house.
I don't. If I get that adrenaline dump, I'm gonna be, where is it?
Yeah.
Because I don't always put it in the same place. So that, that gives me pause to think about some of my bad habits with that.
Since I put in the gun room,
Ooh,
I have
Spend
guns,
most of your time
I have
Sounds
guns in a
interesting.
number of places in my house. And,
we do too.
but you know what happens, like when I go home tonight, I won't take the gun off until basically I get ready to go to bed. And then it's right on the bedstand with me. And we're high visibility because of the radio show and everything.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people know who we are. And there are a lot of people, and I didn't really know this, and you may have been the person who told me this. There are liberals who listen to our show.
Mm-hmm.
And I never could,
Well, especially when I was running, like we used to use Ustream for the video feed,
Right.
and our Ustream count went up when I
Ooh.
became the candidate for that election.
yeah.
So we assumed it was liberals trying to get a soundbite that they could use.
Well, probably was.
Yeah, and ironically, that never happened. So
But we had, for instance, the video that you took of, at Eric Wallace's thing,
Yes.
showed up in a liberal thing. It's our video, it's
Oh,
got
yeah,
our
they
logo
stole
on it.
our video of Mike Huckabee.
So somebody was watching our,
They took that clip and they made it their own, and our watermark is still on that video.
exactly, yeah. So we've got all kinds of people watching our,
Well, and
or
when
listening.
I got that death threat, you know, it did make me think, it wouldn't be, and Joe Walsh gets death threats with some regularity, it wouldn't be that hard. It would actually be very easy for somebody to target someone who has a live radio show. I
Absolutely.
mean, you know,
You
where,
know the address of the
where this
station.
place is not a
Right.
secret, you know, approximately when you would arrive,
Yes.
approximately when you would leave. That's,
You film
that's
live.
all very easy to figure out.
Everyone thinks we're in Chicago, by the way.
Well, let's just keep
That,
them
that
thinking
is a
that.
common misconception.
Really?
Because we are.
Yes.
We're actually in Portland, Oregon.
I just
But-
think it's important, like, especially for women, you know, of our size too,
Yeah.
is that, you know, not just carrying, but you've just gotta be aware of your
Oh, you
surroundings
bet.
all the
Absolutely.
time. You know, and I think that, you know, there are some people out there that think, I got a gun on me, I'll be fine, you know? And then they don't take the precautions that they should take, you know?
But we go in and out of the show heavily armed.
That is true.
It's,
Watch out, people.
it had better be a big group if we're gonna do it, because we have a lot of firepower. What can I say?
And we all walk out together.
Better safe than sorry.
There was a couple of things I heard not too long ago regarding like safety outside your home and stuff. Like when you go to the gas station, for example, and being aware of your surroundings. You know, if you look at how cars are positioned, you know, be aware if there's a car that's maybe backed into a spot, because it takes some care and time to do that. They may be wanting to get out in a hurry, you know, so just kind of be aware of that. One other one I heard recently from a former member of law enforcement was that now when he fills up his car, and he basically learned this while working on the job, was that he will leave his door open and position the vehicle so that the door is open towards the building. So if someone's coming out, you know, shooting, he's got some layer of protection of him to guard him where he's standing at the pump filling his car. You know.
Interesting.
But I don't know, my other thought on that is, again, like, he's leaving his door open, if he's not close in proximity to it, someone could try to jump in maybe, but, you know, it depends on how you
That's the
do it.
least of your worries though.
That's kind of my thought too. I think it is a valid idea. I think it's not a bad one necessarily.
You know, a door won't stop around though.
He said that too. He's like, it's, you know, it's something
Yeah.
versus not having nothing
It
and being
gives you,
fully
it
visible.
gives you some concealment, but it
Concealment.
won't stop around.
Probably not, depending on what
Change
caliber.
trajectory a little bit.
Exactly. There's another thought. It's something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than nothing.
Yeah, a girlfriend of mine is a Cook County assistant state prosecutor, and she was telling me, she's like, I hate going to the gas station.
Well,
She's
if you
seen so
think
many
about it,
cases, murder cases
It's a
that are
killing
at
field.
gas
It really
stations.
is.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you're absorbed in something else.
Right,
You're
you're
in close
busy.
proximity to a bunch of
You're
people.
watching to see how many dollars are
Yeah,
going in, or how
exactly.
many gallons. Yeah, I'm gonna stop at 25 bucks, or, you know,
Right.
yeah.
You know, you look at that poor cop, what state was that in? I forget.
Texas.
In Texas, yeah, Texas.
Yeah, it was
This guy
horrible.
walked up behind him, shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
He never even knew it. He never even knew what hit him.
Yeah.
I mean, and that literally is that's the problem with the theater too.
Yeah.
So many, not all, but so many theaters, the entrance is behind you. So they could hose down the last 3 rows before
Or you
anyone would know
have to
what's
go,
going on.
yeah, down and then over.
Yeah,
Well,
then back
I
down.
like the top.
yeah, where
No,
they come in below.
The last time I was in a regular movie theater, we actually had our backs to the top wall, and that was perfect.
Yeah,
That was perfect, and
That's where I like to sit.
but like we like to go to the one where they serve food, and the door is behind us.
It's behind us, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's inconvenient. But yeah, the last time I went with Yen the last time. Yen doesn't carry, so I'm like, okay, I'm responsible for both of us rather than just rather than his partner. And so I'm like, okay, we're gonna go all the way to the side and like closer to the front, so that if somebody comes in, I'm less likely to be shot before I have time to shoot back.
well, and I mean, see, that's a very valid point, because when you're in a situation where you have no choice, that the egress is gonna be to your back,
Yeah,
then you wanna be as far away as you can.
yeah.
I hate to be morbid, but you wanna hear him shooting somebody else,
I
so
do
you
that at my
have time
church
to
too.
react.
I do that at my church. The entrance of our sanctuary is in the very back of the room, and it's in the middle of the back.
That's for the majority of churches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that's a very common arrangement, so that if people come in late, you're not disturbing the whole
Right.
service. You're
Right.
coming to the back rather than the side or the front. And so I sit in one of the back rows, but as far to one side, either the left or the right, as possible, so that if they come in shooting up the middle, I can get them from the side, and hopefully I'm not disabled before I'm able to take them out.
Yeah, it's basically the space, distance, and visibility.
Angles,
You know, you
yeah.
want to have the space to be able to get out the pathway. You know, the distance from wherever the threat could be coming from, and visibility to see all the entrances.
Yeah, and it's all about having a plan. I know
Right.
that my husband read a book about, raising children, and he was talking about parking lot rules. Like, this one dad would say, parking lot rules. The kids knew they had to walk up to dad and hold his hand, or, do whatever they had to do. So, you have that code word, that safe word, and you say it, and the kids have to get on it and listen to you.
We sort of
They know
have
what to
that. Our code word is, oh crap, he's got a gun. It's-
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, showtime.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's also something else too, like using a different word instead of gun. People react to that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
adversely. So
Right.
if you use something like,
But
oh,
I
that's
do
my
like
little-
gun, it's easy to say. Gun!
Yeah.
True.
I think, to, boil it all down, I think the real trick here, not maybe a trick, but I think the real consideration, it all goes back to situational awareness.
Mhm.
You just need to put yourself in a position where you can maintain awareness of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're not
Yes.
wearing an aluminum foil hat at night, okay? Once you do it for a while, it's second nature. You like this table? No, actually, I like that one over there.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not like it's a big deal.
And if you're in a situation where you feel uncomfortable, like you said,
Yeah,
avoidance is key. Just leave. Like, you don't have to stay there just because you have a
Exactly.
gun, or, what's the point of that? No,
It's
you
funny
need to
how-
leave.
And a lot of anti-gunners think that people that carry guns are wanting to be like aggressive in some way, and most everyone who's carrying a gun does not want to get into
With
a
the
situation and
opposite.
avoid it. It's
Want
just
to
a
avoid
last
it at all
resort.
costs. Absolutely.
As we always say, pulling the trigger doesn't end the problem. That's
Right,
where the
starts.
problem really
Yeah.
starts.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, and that's the other thing is, I say we prepare for all sorts of things that we don't think are actually gonna happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have full collision coverage on our cars, we don't actually think we're
Fire
gonna get into
insurance?
accidents. We have fire insurance, flood insurance,
I have concealed carry insurance.
so do I. So do
Yeah.
I, but yeah, we prepare for lots of things that we don't think are actually gonna, your kids have fire drills and emergency drills
Yep.
at school and things like that. We don't actually think those things are gonna happen, we hope that they never do, and it's the same thing with carrying a gun.
Yeah.
I expect I'll never, ever, ever have to use that gun.
It's not likely that you will. Statistically, it's just not
Bought a
likely.
ladder for the second floor for my son in case there would ever be a fire. We're on.
Is it one of those
Right,
throw-out
yeah.
ladders?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, the safety first ladders, you open
Yeah.
the window, it's
Yep.
tied in, you just throw it over in
Yeah.
case you ever have, he better not sneak out, I have got.
How old is he?
He's turning 13 next
Won't be long.
month
Yeah,
and
he'll
he
sneak
is
it out.
already,
You have a little time.
he's almost 5'7", he almost weighs as much as I do, he's gonna be a big kid. But we've got, security sensors at every window, even on the second floor. We've got security sensors on every window, basement, first and second floor, so we've kinda got everything
That'll slow
covered.
him down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, well, intruders as well, but
Right.
for Riley, we do, in case of a fire, we do have that for upstairs for him. So,
Any
again, like
parting
you said,
thoughts?
preparing, you said we prepared for anything.
Any last brilliant pithy thoughts?
No.
Congratulations
Yeah.
on 3 years,
Thank
that's
you.
pretty
We got
awesome,
cake,
that's nice.
yeah. It's hard to believe
And
it's been
some-
3 years.
Something
We
to
got-
help you go to
We got a
sleep
bottle of
really
booze
easily.
here. Let's do another hour drinking, yeah. Well, new show, the drinking
Segment
show.
7.
Woo, oh, that would be funny.
Yeah.
I
That
did
would be
say,
super funny, because I'm the drinker.
And I said, Gretchen, what does he drink? And she said, well, he doesn't really drink. And I said, I think he should.
And she's like,
She can
30
drink me
minutes
under
before
the
every
table.
You should have
show.
brought him
She
like
can
a
drink
light
me
beer
under
or
the
something.
Yes,
Yeah,
get
it's just,
started.
It's true, I'm a lightweight, I always have been. I've never been a drinker.
Gosh.
But thank you for having me on the show several times.
No,
I really appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
I was not planning to be here today. Just when Gretchen said it's 3 years today, I'm like, I'm coming.
Yeah, you're a frequent guest, and Russ is a frequent guest, so, I was trying to.
And he's in there right now, right?
Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
in there right
he's
now.
doing
Yeah,
his
he's got a
sports
show
show,
after
so,
ours.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I think that's it
Yeah.
for this week. Thank you for watching, we'll be back next week with more segment 6.